Very good. Vast majority of you voted for Sarah McGinnis, as opposed to Sarah Grayson, citing facts such as, well, the ghost we encountered was a young woman, and Sarah Grayson did not live for very long, only 22 years, as opposed to the far older Sarah Grayson. That's presuming that ghosts, of course, follow simple logic like that, or, maybe Sarah Grayson somehow found the Fountain of Youth in her fencing outfit. I don't know. Whatever. So let's go ahead and turn to the appropriate page. In that case, page 14. Congratulations! You picked the right Sarah. Sarah McGinnis. Born in 1918, died in 1940, at the age of 22. You knew she was the right one, because the fencing ghost was a young beauty, so she must have died young. The other Sarah in the graveyard lived to be 75 years old. Very clever of you to figure it out. Suddenly, you hear her voice. It fills your ears. I am the keeper of the sword, she calls to you from her grave. Let my foil do the work. Let go. Let go. Weird, you think, but you do it. As soon as the foil leaves your hand, it floats in midair. Then it plunges itself deeply into the earth, into Brandon Estep's grave. Ah! The ghost cries. His shimmering body begins to fade, and then disappears back into the earth. Your eyes open wide, and your mouth drops open as you gaze at an amazing sight. The coffins are creeping again, back to their original positions. You did it! The curse has been defeated! This land is Roman! Doesn't quite fit, huh? Well, that's okay, because there's one problem. Brandon's ghostly body is gone, but his iron fist is still clutching your arm. McFarling never told you what to do about an iron hand. Help! You scream. Help! But who can help you in a graveyard? You try to yank the metal hand off your arm, but you can't do it. Its grip is too strong. Help! You cry again. But your scream dies in your throat. You are too terrified to make a sound because the hand is moving. The iron fist creeps along your arm. It clutches your flesh so hard you can already feel the bruises. The glinting metal hand travels up to your throat. Horrified, you watch helplessly as the iron fingers open with a clanking sound, and then snap around your neck. Excuse me. It's strangling you. You've got to do something fast. First off, let me turn to the right page. The metal hand clutching your throat is squeezing the life out of you. I think I'll leave it, though. This land is Roman! Settlement captured! The metal hand clutching your throat is squeezing the life out of you. You don't have much time left. Then you see it. The sword. It has lifted itself out of the ground, and it is once again floating in midair. The sword helped before. Maybe it can help you again. Stretching your arm as far as you can, you reach for the sword. I'm just going to tell you what. If it's a damn floating magical sword, and it can float in midair, then why couldn't it float much closer to my reach? I'm just saying. Just saying. Not complaining. Just saying. Stretching your arm as far as you can, you reach for the sword. You nearly topple over, but you manage to grab the handle. Now that you have the sword, you're not sure what to do with it, but you have to do something. The fingers are tightening. You've got to get some space between your throat and the metal fingers. You bring the sword up to your neck. Trying to avoid slicing your own throat, you jostle and jiggle the sword through the fingers of the metal hand. Finally, the blade pokes up through the iron fist. The tip is just under your nose. The sword is jammed between your skin and the cold metal of Brandon Estep's hand. The iron hand releases your throat. The sword and the hand clatter to the ground. It's over. This land is Roman, finally! Well, maybe not. The moment the sword hits the dirt... The moment the sword hits the dirt! The moment the sword hits the dirt, you hear a sound. An almost deafening sound. Deafening. Let me flip to the right page. Oh yeah. Bong. 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 What is that? Some kind of clock tower? Bong, 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 bong. The chimes strike 12 times. That was only 7. At exactly midnight, the iron hand and the sword vanish, and your grandmother appears in the doorway of her house. Why, listen to that, she exclaims. It's the clock tower in the church. That clock hasn't chimed in years. Really? You say, your eyes growing wide? Your grandmother nods. Not since Brandon Estep died. He crashed his motorcycle in this graveyard. Wild boy. But he loved that clock tower. He had helped his father build it. So everyone said Brandon haunted this place. And that's why the clock wouldn't chime. Of course, it's a lot of nonsense. Oh, excuse me, I wasn't doing my grandmother voice. My bad, hold on, guys. Why, listen to that, she exclaims. It's the clock tower in the church. That clock hasn't chimed in years. Really? Not since Brandon Estep died. He crashed his motorcycle in this graveyard. Wild boy, but he loved that clock tower. He had helped his father build it. So everyone said Brandon haunted this place, and that's why the clock wouldn't chime. Of course, it's a lot of nonsense. Nonsense? No way, you think. They tried to fix the clock 1,000,000 times, your grandmother goes on. But it never worked. I wonder why it started chiming now. You're pretty sure you know the answer to that. I guess Brandon's ghost is finally at rest, you say. You gaze around you and see that the tombstones are all back where they belong. In fact, the whole graveyard looks kind of sleepy and peaceful. Oh, don't be a goose, your grandmother scolds. There are no ghosts. Next you'll be telling me that the ghost of Elmira Martin is taking a nap in your room. Elvira? You'd forgotten about her. But you figure when the other ghosts returned to their graves, Elvira did too. Your grandmother yawns. Come on, she says sleepily. This is way past both our bedtimes. Save the furniture! You and your grandmother go inside. You say goodnight and climb the stairs to your bedroom. What a day, you think, flopping down in the soft bed. Watch it! A familiar voice echoes through the room. A lump under the comforter slowly materializes. Elvira! Don't hog the covers, she snaps. She yanks the blanket under you so hard you roll right off the bed. You've heard of bad roommates, but this is ridiculous. Well, you'll just have to learn to get along. Because Elvira is here for eternity. Your days of having your own room have come to an end. What a great story, Grimith. Oh my god, I'm glad you shared this with us. And that's it for that story arc. Team Grimgrams only died once the entire time. Good job, guys. You did well. Way to go. Go team. Land Roman, yada yada. We wins. We wins. For the lulls, I guess. The kicks and giggles and shit. Let's see what happens if you had chosen, as a team, to pick Sarah Grayson instead of Sarah McGinnis. Good work! You added right. The numbers in the date of Sarah Grayson's death add up to 23. But there's just one problem. A big one. You've got the wrong Sarah. Figure it out. Sarah Grayson was born in 1820. She died in 1895. That made her 75 years old when she died. But the ghost you saw, the fencing woman, was young, remember? Long black hair, ruby lips, svelte figure, generous bust. I'm not an old lady, a young one. Which means the most powerful ghost has you in his powerful iron grip, and you've got no magical number to get out of it. Uh-oh. Okay, you'll get a break this time. Go back to the graveyard and pick again. Choose the younger Sarah this time. Add up the digits in the year of her death, then turn to that page. Goosebumps. Being a generous game book there. Alright, I don't... guess I can do one more video where I talk about the other past, but I don't feel like taking us down the other story arc. I mean, that one was pretty long the way it is, and the other one just features you going home, and one of the kid ghosts follows you home, according to the back of the book, and some interesting stuff can happen there. I don't know. Actually, I think we're done with this book. If you guys want to like go through all of it and stuff, we can. But I mean, we did huge arc there. We did it together, and we get to have Elvira as a roommate there at the end. I'm making that face again. Yes. Besides, I'm pretty interested in getting cracking on Flight from the Dark here, which I just opened up right before I started doing this, because I knew it'd be the finale, and I just started reading through this page completely blind. I don't know what I'm doing, and I also don't know the rules for how this game system works. I might brush up on those before I get started, but yeah, I'm done with... I think we're done with the Curse of Creeping Coffin. I think we are. We could have chosen from over 20 different scary endings, but I mean, how can we really top? Whoa, man! All we are is dust in the wind, dude. I mean, we can't top that. And, I mean, we got the girl at the end. Everything's great. Yeah. Curse of the Creeping Coffin, very rewarding. Glad I shared it, as well as Operation Night Flight. This book is definitely better than Operation Night Flight, though, and my favorite of the Goosebumps. Reader beware, you choose the scare stories. Want to thank those of you who've been playing along for playing along, and see you all in future Let's Get On With It adventures. Like this one. Potential? Yes? No? Bye.